welcome Global Expat Support and Growth Circle. Thank you so much to join us to our second podcast. And I have the honor to have my wonderful guest again, Kasi from Singapore. Hi, Kasi. How are you doing?
Hi, Ella. How are you doing?
Good.
Amazing. And your background looks amazing also.
Thank you. It's a little bit cold the last few days, so it's warming up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So tonight, I'm very excited to have you again because I don't know if viewers have caught our first podcast about to break old pattern, how to stay calm while you living as an expat abroad. Tonight, we are actually talking about dive deep into it and explain what it is. I will also mention something that I experience called quantum jumping or quantum leaping, or discovering your parallel version. Sounds hocus pocus, but I will share everything what I have experienced. The founder and principal solution, NCS Neuro Change Solutions, and he teaches programs that was created by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Welcome back. Tell everyone what Vedanta is.
And some of these ancient scriptures, to explain them, you have to go to a scholar. What I do is I listen to Vedantic talks. I use their concepts, integrate them into my life, in my processes, meditations, in my self-inquiry, to make it a lived experience for myself. My approach to or even to strategies, neuroscience strategies with self-awareness, personal growth, first-person experience of those strategies, of those concepts, and how it manifests itself in me, in my experience.
How do you, and I remember that you mentioned to me that you do in Vedanta is analyzing, right? So analyzing anything that from your life experiences, go a little bit deeper into that.
This analysis is actually of your own, once again, your own lived experience. Your own thoughts, your own perceptions of reality, your own experience as you encounter people, encounter objects, encounter anything else which this three-dimensional world has to offer. What is your experience of them, and permanent experience? Is that a true experience in that sense? Formulation in our understanding, whichever is more permanent is true. Let's do an experiment among ourselves here. So,
okay.
Ella, if you're ready, maybe you can close your eyes for a while. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in. Breathe out. Now, just for a few seconds, clear your mind of all the thoughts of every people you know, every object you own, every experience that you have had. Just clear your mind of those thoughts. Now, what is left is some space, right? Is the space of awareness, right?
Yes.
And the question is, who is aware of this awareness? It's a question you need to ask yourself and to just be with that.
Do I say it or just?
No, just within yourself. You can ask within yourself and see where it leads you. So, first of all, you have cleared your mind of all these thoughts, all these experiences which you have had through this day. And what's left is some space. And I'm not going to use terms like empty or full. It's a space. It's a space. You can call it the space of awareness. Ask yourself, who is aware of this space itself? And you remain with that question. If your mind again lingers towards thoughts, lingers towards the people you know, things you own, clear that mind gently, again be in that space, and again search for that, again ask for that awareness which is aware of this space. Yeah. Take a breath in, breathe out, and you return. Okay?
Wow.
When there were no thoughts, right? When there were no thoughts, when there were no experiences, when there were no people, no objects in your mind, were you still there?
I was still there.
You are still there, right? So can we say that you are actually you exist regardless of whether there's thoughts, whether there are people, whether there's this environment around you, regardless of that, you exist.
Yes.
Something called you. So
Yes.
our job in Vedanta or in analytic idealism is to find that self which exists regardless of any other thing. In spite of any other thing, even to that extent we can say. So that's the process. Is that which exists at that level is more permanent than anything else around us, because thoughts change, our environment changes, people around us change, they come, they go, they die, they are born. What is unchanging? So that's the essence of this inquiry, phenomenological inquiry, because it's our own lived experience. We don't have to go outside of ourselves to find this.
Something doing this little example, my thought was like, we had so many things. When you told me to close my eyes and breathe in and get rid of all the thoughts, everything, I felt like I was in a room and cleaning out everything. So it was just me. And for 1 second, it was just me. So it was very calming. And I noticed that heart rate was like calming down, actually. Is then something that you do ever, like, when would you recommend someone to do that? And do it yourself, right, in your head. You don't say it out loud, or how should someone practice this?
So the idea is this: you are present throughout the day, right? Regardless of what's happening in your environment, regardless of where you are, whether you are at work or whether you are at home, whether you are with your friends, there's only one constant. While the outside environment is changing, while the circumstances are changing, there's one constant, and that is you. So pretty much you can do it 24 hours, because that's the only constant.
I see. Similar, when in the morning, when I wake up, I do the exercise, my phone's not checking emails, nothing. I just, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sit up and just calm and close my eyes and take the deep breaths. It felt, you told me to ask myself in that moment, that was another level that I don't experience normally if I just take the breathing. I could go deeper if I would stay in that presence.
This is a knowledge which stays with you throughout. Once you know it, it's a knowledge which stays with you. Now, the times when it doesn't stay with you is when you think that you are your thoughts in your life, whether it's a car or whether it's $1,000,000. You think as that there is that thing you are missing in your life, and that's when you forget who you are. So these are the moments you actually forget who you are. So one could remember, so whenever we return back to the self, one can remember the times we were not ourselves. Not something you need to do and redo and do multiple programs and pay thousands of dollars. No. To scholars, listening to experts is just a way of reminding yourself of that knowledge so that you can be yourself throughout the day.
So it's almost like finding your inner voice, basically, right? We always know there is this little voice in the back of your mind. And that's kind of like, your awareness, who you are, who your truly yourself is, yourself in midst of the chaos every day.
This voice is silent.
Oh, this voice is silent. So it's definitely a feeling, right? It's a feeling. Yeah.
It is the feeling behind the feeling. It is that which is aware of the feeling. You get a feeling, right? This is that which is aware of that feeling.
And I hope our viewers, they want to know more, dive deeper, they're welcome to contact Kasi. I will information after this video.
Actually doing a one-day program on this called the Science of Self of Jen, and that's in Singapore. On a regular basis, I do also conduct online sessions. We'll give some information on that towards the end.
Wonderful. Yes, I will definitely share that with you guys.
Now, this is a knowledge which stays with you throughout. Once you know it, It's a knowledge which stays with you. Now, the times when it doesn't stay with you is when you think that you are your thoughts and you get agitated, or it's when you think that you are that thing you are missing in your life, whether it's a car or whether it's $1 million. You think as that there is
Yeah.
that thing you are
Yeah.
missing in your life, and that's when you forget who you are. So these are the moments you actually forget who you are, right?
That's
So
true.
one could remember, so whenever we return back to the self, one can remember the times we were not ourselves. So
Yes.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the knowledge never leaves you once you know. So this is not something you need to do and redo and do multiple programs and pay thousands of dollars. No, the knowledge is simple. It's it's just reminding ourselves. Listening to scholars, listening to experts is just a way of reminding yourself of that knowledge so that you can be yourself throughout the day.
So it's almost like finding your inner voice, basically, right? We always know there is this little voice in the back of your mind. And that's kind of like, finding your awareness, who you are, who your truly yourself is, finding yourself in midst of the chaos,
Mm.
everyday's chaos. So I
It's
think,
this voice is silent.
oh, this voice is silent. So it's definitely a feeling, right? It's a feeling. Yeah.
It is the feeling behind the feeling. It is
Wow.
it is that which is aware of the feeling.
Wow.
You get a feeling, right? This
Yes.
is that which is aware of that feeling.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I hope our viewers, if they want to know more, um, I'm sure there's a lot of materials out there, but also Kazi.
Mm.
If anyone wants to dive deeper, they're welcome to contact Kazi. I will happy to share his information after this video. Um,
Yeah, and we are actually doing a one-day program on this called the Science of Self on 30th of Jan, and that's in Singapore. Um, on a regular basis, I do also conduct online sessions. We'll give some information on that towards the end.
Wonderful. Yes, I will definitely share that with you guys. And let's
Now,
see.
tell me more about you were saying something about your experience just now, Ella.
Like a year and a half ago, something tragic happened. My brother, he passed away all of a sudden,
I'm so
and
sorry. Yeah.
yes, it's still crazy. But what really helped me was this quantum leaping technique, which I actually first that I ever heard was from a friend of mine. She is a therapist in the U.S. and she mentioned about quantum jumping and Dr. Joe Dispenza. Looking in YouTube for guided meditation, and I found not from Dr. Joe Dispenza, but from someone else, Dr. Jessica Connor. She has over 1 million subscribers. And so I was listening the first time, and I think I really wanted to be healed. I was devastated. He was my best friend. I felt like there was this big hole in my chest, and I was determined to get my life in control. And get over the grief and move on. So, and knowing quantum leaping was about finding your best version in a parallel world. So think about Matrix. And you're trying to find yourself basically. You find your better version and learn from that version, bring it back to this reality and have a better life. So, and within the 15 minutes of the first time I was listening to this meditation, felt a hand behind my back, just like this. I was looking out the window like this, and I felt immediately it was me. When I touched the arm, I knew it was me. I didn't see the face. I didn't look back. I didn't need to, because my heart immediately filled with full of love. It
Mm.
was glowing. I thought I was warm in this area. And even when I woke up from it, from the meditation, I was never really fully asleep, but in a very calming phase I woke up and I still felt the glowing and the love. I was feeling healed. And this is something I never in my life experienced. This kind of love. We're not talking about falling in love with someone, in love with someone. It's literally healing the body. So, yeah.
Wow.
That was for me the first experience.
How did that change you, that experience?
Life after that, it looked more positive. I wasn't so anxious. I used to have night sweats. I never had night sweats in my life, really panic attacks. And it stopped. And I was feeling myself again. I felt like my life is in control. And I felt like there was an upgrade because I knew I had to reinvent myself because it was my North Star. He was my big brother, and self again. I found a lot of new, wonderful friends. Opportunities just fell on my laps. 2.0, my life. I keep saying I'm lucky that I found myself and I've improved myself. Also, for my first, when I said in my last podcast, I lost a lot of weight. Before I was overweight, they discovered I have diabetes. So it's all good. I'm healthy, younger than before. So all positive.
So, how do you think all this came about? Did you consciously make an intention to lose weight or to have an experience? Did you consciously make an intention to do it?
I think so. Before I discovered the quantum jumping, I was determined that I need to get my life back in control, even after losing my brother. I didn't know how, I didn't know where to start. So I was just grabbing any tools that was recommended to me. I took it, and yes, I think I was very intentionally, I wanted to find a solution.
Like when we have such a strong intention and we have invested emotion in it, the universe or the mind finds a way to the circumstances and events and information to support that. Do you think that's a possible explanation for what happened?
I think so. But one phenomenon that is so, for me still, today I can feel it. This touch, this simple imagination, or whatever you call it, that hand that has touched me physically. I changed not only in my mind, it's physically changed. That's
Extraordinary.
incredible. Yeah.
Extraordinary. So,
Yeah.
what is the one thing if someone is going through a tough time in their lives, whether it's a relationship which is abusive, let's say, and they can't get out of it, or whether it's an addiction, whether it's a drug addiction or alcohol addiction or any other form of addiction, is there something they could take away from your experience?
Don't give up. When so depressed, and some days I didn't feel like get out of the room, and but I was so determined, and thank God I had so many wonderful friends around the world. They were worried about me. They gave me that helped tremendous. Reach out. That's one thing. Reach out to friends. If you don't have friends, there are so many wonderful workshops like Kasi. I'm sure you can just join. I did that too. Like, there's so many tools out there.
Yeah, there's so many free tools out there, free resources out
tools, and it really helps. But the key is you want to wake up, you want to move forward. That's all you have to do. Move forward every day. Even if you don't see a result, in one day, but these little baby steps, it really becomes a big step.
starts from that strong intention.
Yes. You just need to have the will to
Yeah.
live. because the world is wonderful. Yes, we have ups and downs, but don't give up. It can happen. And the power of the mind, don't underestimate it. It's incredible.
Thank you, Ella. That was actually very inspiring.
Thank you, Kasi, because I think I'm learning so much from you, podcast and now, because there's so much out there, wisdom. Now I know, a lot of the probably thousands of years back then, people already knew there's more, inside a body. We're just not a body. There's also something inside of us.
Yes, even now, this is a big question even in consciousness studies. The advent of functional MRI, of interest in consciousness as there's really a resurgence in consciousness nowadays, consciousness studies, because they can tell in real time neurons and the neural networks, how they are forming. And so consciousness studies is really, there's a real resurgence there. So the question of are we just the body and the mind, or is there something else, is it's still a very relevant question today. And there's a gap. There's still a gap. Science has not bridged. So we still can't tell how these electrical impulses turn into the first person experience which we are having. It has something to do. We know that consciousness has a part to play in it, but we cannot stimuli which leads to electrical impulses somehow leads to a first-person experience. So there's still a big gap there, and in science there's a gap, but in ancient wisdom it's very clear. It's the consciousness which is activating, making all this possible. It's not that consciousness is being created by the activity of the brain, but consciousness is the basis upon which everything else is happening, according to ancient understanding. A lot more detail and nuances with regards to all that I've said, but for our short, within the time frame of our podcast, so I'm just keeping it brief.
This was super interesting. I know we just touched just very slight surface on this topic. So much, Kasi, again for tonight, to introduce us Vedanta and show me how the example.
Ella, for sharing your answers and how you overcame toughest challenges. I'm sure it was inspirational to everybody who was listening. Which we were mentioning, it is on the 30th of January. I'll put in the link for registration for those of them who are keen, or even to they may just inquire for the next sessions which I'll be holding over the next few months.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everyone. See you next
time. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Ella. And hope you can go for that walk. It's hour.
And they prepare for Chinese New Year downstairs.
Yeah, Chinese New Year is coming up.